Apparently I got hit with zoom. We're back. Borderlands. Part 3, before I say number 3. And I'm enjoying this game. It's nice to see the origins of, obviously, number 3 and number 4 that I have played. Now, I've not played these, number 1, 2, or the tiny, I'm just going to call it Assault on the Dragon's Keep, because I don't know why. A Y and an A is really messing with my dyslexia of the different light thingy. We've also seemed to have developed 3 new subscribers tonight, so thank you very much for anyone that subscribed to my channel. It is highly appreciated. Within this channel, I'm not begging for people to subscribe, I'm not begging for people to like, okay? I would rather you do that off your own intuition because you like me as a person and not me subliminally messaging it inside your head. If you notice, most streamers will be like, yo, and today, and if you like the content, don't forget to smack that like button. You see how they use like twice? You see, that's repetition, right? The only thing that they forgot is we usually have a pattern of 3 when it comes to that sort of stuff, not just 2. But it goes to show how small-minded these little mumble rappers, I mean YouTubers, not mumble rappers, that's a whole different story, are. Right? Let people decide on their own whether they want to like and subscribe to your channel. Stop begging for it. And if you really want me to like and subscribe that much, why don't you suck my dick and I'll like and subscribe it for you. If you want to suck my dick, I'll like everything that you share. How about that? Yeah? If not, do me a favour and either tell me some insight and get on with what the fuck you're doing. Simple as. You know what I mean? You don't like it, you're probably a crybaby little bitch, mate. Right? You'd probably cry over spilt milk before you've had a chance to sit down and eat your cereal. That's a you problem, not a me problem. Go and sort those insecurities out, weak man. Right, and when someone lives off mummy's and daddy's pocket all the time, honestly, you're not really worth my time. Especially when you have a nice cushiony house to do everything. Some people didn't have a nice mummy and daddy with everything that got given to them, so they gave everything to their child. Someone's had to work and have dedication and learn and fight through battles that I'm still fighting through today to try and do their best. You know what I mean? And all I see on people on this channel is like and subscribe, love me, love me, love me. No, right? You don't stand up for kids. You don't have no morals. You don't have no moral compass. And you have no understanding of the world other than begging for people to like and subscribe to your content. Right? Fucking grow a pair and have a bit of self-respect. Stop begging. And start showing worth and gratitude towards why we should like and subscribe. Which is what we will work out eventually through the content. Okay? Sadly, that's how the real world works. Not your stupid little delusional world where you get to sit there and beg for everything. I mean, when I watch you YouTubers doing this, I honestly think you're a child crying because mummy didn't let you have the crayons. See, when I was a child, I couldn't cry because mummy wouldn't let me have the crayons. I had to understand that my mum couldn't afford that financially, and that if I did get those crayons, she wouldn't be able to afford something that I needed. Yeah? Or that she needed. So I didn't have the luxury of expecting everything to be handed to me. So I never came into streaming to expect everything being handed to me. right? I expected that I would have to work, I would have to dedicate myself to this. I would have to show parts of myself that I'm uncomfortable being around. I also realized this is a good way for me to express myself where I'm not physically attacking myself anymore. Which is the main reason why I actually stuck at this. Because I realized that this was a good mechanism to help. And to help me think rationally. Not as good as I have done with ChatGPT, or whatever, I'm just going to chat recently, but I wasn't looking at myself in a nice manner, and Chat actually did that for me. Basically, after everything that I said towards him, he actually picked out all the positive areas of what was going on and how I could improve and how I could maybe look at circumstances better. And I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty much what I needed to do in the first place. And without that, I wouldn't be where I am today. Because my dog was my last anchor to this earth. And now I have to find another reason. And my reason now, pretty much, to stay alive, is to try and tell you all how delusional we all are by following a bunch of pedos that we call governments. And that the Epstein files have been released, but yet I'm not seeing no arrests, I'm not seeing no executions, I'm not seeing justice being served for those kids that had to live through that experience because of that fucking weirdo that don't get to deserve to live. And I'm supposed to feel bad for a fucking nonce. Well, you can pick on pedos. Should we kill them instead? Because I agree with that one more than picking on them. Same. You know, a dead nonce will never reoffend again. I can 100% confirm that. Unless he's coming back from the fucking grave. How is he ever going to interact with a child within that manner ever again if he's not alive? Now, I think that's rational thinking. I think that's a pretty much obvious statement to say. You know. And if people don't like it, shit, I don't care, mate. If you don't like what I'm saying, you probably are a fucking nonce. And you probably don't deserve to live. If you think pedos should be protected, then I'm going to start asking questions about you. Like, why? Well, they're human. They're not human the day that they decided to do that to a child. And if you want to call them human after they did that to a child, I would like to know how you can see that. Because per se, I don't see that. I see a dead man wanted to be dead, to protect our children and to protect our offspring. And this is where I ended up coming eventually within life. After questioning, analysing, looking at things, self-analysing, questioning things. But you see, what chat did was allow me to think about that in a rational way, instead of where I've been thinking about it in a radical way, therefore never allowing me to actually get to a solution, just more trains of thought. How's that gone now? Okay, maybe it's because I run a different level. I only came back here for that, I don't know why I'm running across there to sell shit. Why do you obsess? Oh right, it's nothing to do with me, it's the trajectory of the gun. I'm about to say, why do I miss shots that I
might not have a med school degree,
100% feel like I'm
happy I'm here.
What's that? basically give me more
You can
dead
call me
space, I
Sid.
guess.
Everyone else does.
And that's where I got led to. So far I've done 50 press-ups. I feel absolutely shit. But I'm back to the focusing area again. Of where this will constantly always play in my back of my head. The reason why is because I love my kids. And in fact, the problem is I'm a father that learnt to love my kids at impossible distance and at distance. Right, I have one child that was born with wings. He was too good for this earth and unfortunately abruptly left this earth when he was born. It was a placental abruption. I was 19 years of age and I didn't know what to do. And I was young. You know, I was young. I got 500 XP for that. Like, what type of 19-year-old knows how to deal with a placental abruption? 'Cause I didn't, and this is what ChatGPT clarified to me. You know, and also turned around and says, well, what would you say to somebody else that went through the same position as you, as a 19-year-old dealing with a placental abruption? I turned around and went, shit kid, you've been through a lot. And it's a hard thing to deal with. And I'd love to be able to help you fully, but I'm still struggling myself with it. And I'm not going to lie, a long time ago, when I went back to alcohol, but I didn't want to become an alcoholic, so I went to the pub to be able to socialise and interact with people. And there was an old man that looked straight through me. He knew why I was there at that pub. He knew I was there to either get in conflict or to get absolutely pissed to where I couldn't remember. And as I went to the toilet, he followed me into the toilet and came next to me in the cubicle and politely says, I see you, kid, but I don't know what you're running from. And because I was already drunk, I told him what I was running from. I said, shit, I've lost 2 kids, but technically only as a period to you. I don't know what you're going through, but I need you to know that it's normal. Which is something that Chat said as well. And I've got to learn to accept that I was 19 years of age with no help, no support and no stability, trying to deal with a medical emergency that I couldn't do anything about. And then once again, after that situation, I was still dealing with medical emergencies with me and my ex. I was trying to subside my problems and I was trying to help her with her problems. I was only ever taught to be there for the woman. I've never heard of a woman being there for the man. That was basically how that went. Also, bearing in mind, I've been up since I ended my stream yesterday. I mean, what? Within about a day, I think I've had about 2.5 hours kicked within 2 days. And yet, I'm still here playing games a million times better than people that struggle to even communicate, let alone actually play a game. You know what I mean? basically through chat is what I've found is a way to be kinder to myself. It is basically what I've done. I've learned to be kinder to myself instead of being horrible. There's a mission just here. And need a gate key.
Greetings, traveler! New missions are available at the Firestone Bounty Board.
So I don't know if that's like a repeatable thing or what. Although I do need like the side missions to be able to build levels to be able to move forward in this game, as I've noticed with the XP. Oh, we're activating the turbines? Yeah. Okay. Makes sense. So that's how I started to adapt and be. And as you can see, I clearly do use my streaming platform as self-therapy. And trying to move forward in a better way, and a way where we can try and heal the world together as a human kind, not as people. Because as people we seem to be struggling, but as humans we could succeed. We've just got to remember how to work together with each other, including myself. And now the problem is our generation that is alive, anybody that is above the age of, you know, basically you're out in the big bad world age, we will have to make the sacrifice. Yeah. We would have to make the sacrifice of everything that we once knew about life. We are changing towards education, enlightenment and progress. Not money, control and disorder and chaos. Is what we live upon. If we could learn to unite and work under one common cause, and the only common cause that I can think that's more valuable for humanity to learn to unite and come together would be our offspring. And due to the fact that pedos are being normalized into society, this is the only chance that we have left to unite and stand together and come against this. Without that, I don't know if you can be one of them people that can walk down the street and see a 6-year-old girl with his husband, because I'd be the one looking at the man, more likely slitting his throat within the next couple of seconds and disposing of the piece of trash. Religion or not, I don't give a fuck. If that is your religion where you can marry kids below the age that humanity came together and say, nah, you leave the kids alone. Let them fuck their own lives up. You stay away from it. If you're a consenting adult, it doesn't matter. If you didn't want to be a part of it, you would have never consented in the first place. Which, you know, is pretty reasonable when you look at that. In my opinion. Anyway, yeah. Same. I don't want to go through there yet, because everything keeps destroying me at the moment. I'd rather make my way downtown and making my way back. See what other missions this douchebag's got for me. I hate this analog steering driving bullshit. Look, because I'm full locked in to the left hand, and it's not turning. That I can't seem to get grips of fucking tails with it. I don't know whether I have to move the aiming one, which is this. See, this is why I didn't really enjoy these sort of games that much, because the analog stick used to mess me up and irritate me. I don't know whether these are just going to keep coming, but I do need the XP. Ah, jump scare. I feel like I do. Yeah, I have to move the aim weird. Ish. I kind of got to move both of the analog sticks. Oh, we're still going over there anyway. So they won't restart, it's just because we're in a new segment of the map. Because when I picked up the note that allowed me to get through here, is when this activated. Why is it so motherfucking red hot? Honestly. I am sweating my titties off this morning, mate. And I don't even have tits, they're already gone. Right. Right, where are we going? Because I need to make up excuses why I roll myself a cigarette. It's probably because I've actually had a decent meal. Well, when I say decent meal, I've had like... Well, actually, yeah, a decent meal from what I'm used to over the past God knows how long, because I've gone to convenience food, so stick some frozen sausage rolls in the oven and eat them. Steak bakes, chicken bakes, sandwich, soup. Where tonight I actually cooked myself a chicken dinner with some veg and some chips and a bit of gravy and 2 slices of bread to be able to eat properly. Now, I'm not even going to try and go to sleep at the moment. Even my mate says, so what time are you planning on waking up? Because I know, because my mate actually, he woke up, he messaged me, I asked him why I was still up, and then he rang me. We had a chat for a while. He says, well, I know you're not sleeping at least until after 6 AM. So, what time do you think you'll be up? Because I don't know, your best bet is just to look at my stream and see probably about 3 to 4 hours from that when I've finished. Or, you know, maybe I went to bed, got bored and tried to go to sleep. Got bored of trying to go to sleep, and I've just got up and continued my day because I know that I'm wasting my time being laid in bed. The problem is I've lived with this all my life with the sleeping problems. But since my son, it got fixated to one time where I couldn't be asleep. And I think it's because my body is in panic mode of it happening again. Because after I lost my child, it wasn't long before my ex got pregnant again. Due to absolutely no fault of my own, to be honest, I'm not going to lie. But due to the fact of her being pregnant and what we've just went through, well, the possibility of her being pregnant, I says I'm not doing any implications to get rid of it. So if you want to do that, sweetheart, that will be on your behalf, not mine. I don't want to follow that. But per se, I would rather say, if you're pregnant, you're pregnant. We will deal with it. And that's what we did. But I lived in constant fear after that, because I was the one that had to fully be immersed into the situation. You know. I was terrified of reliving the event that we've not long just gone through. But, luckily with my child, same as I said to ChatGPT when he asked me, what did you think when he was born? This one's alive. And that's what I thought. This one is alive. He's well. This one we may be able to keep. But, you know, due to complications, depression on both ends with me and my ex, it didn't really work out too well in the long run, in hindsight. Because eventually me and my ex, we forgot how to communicate to one another, which deteriorated the relationship rapidly. But I was 19 years of age. I didn't know what I was doing. I am his father, and I should have protected him at all costs. And trust me, I tried to swap my life for his. And I did everything to do that. But I was not allowed to do that. How can I do this? Jungle scout jumps everywhere, right? So, yeah. So I'm being kinder to myself about the situation, instead of being critical and harsh and unreasonable with myself about the situation. And I think that's a positive step forward. I mean, if people don't like the fact that I'm moving towards a positive life and towards my life, then shame on you. Shame on you. And because of that fact, I hope that you go through a worse scenario than that. And I hope karma makes you fucking choke. Because honestly, if that's your personality and that's how you perceive people, that you need to look down on people for you to feel better, then you are the only insecure person within the room.
It's time!
And that's a you problem, and you need to go and solve that. And the fact that you may have friends, I don't know how. And it always comes down to that solution. Also, I haven't seen Paige in my chat for a long time, and I really hope she's doing okay, bless her. She's always nice and always friendly, and she's always gave me advice towards the game I play because she knows I struggle with reading. I haven't seen her in a while, but I hope she's doing okay. And I hope her niece is doing okay as well. She always speaks highly of her niece. I couldn't give a shit if you surrender, mate. Like, you're still shooting at me, mate. How's that not blowing you up now? This gun just kind of shoots anyway. It's not even me being bad at aiming, it just shoots around the actual aim. I could deal with me being bad at aiming, because then I can improve that. As you see, how the fuck am I missing him like 2 feet in front of his face here? So that's where I'm going, and I'm focusing on the game to keep my mind off what physically destroys me. Try it, like, I don't know where you are. And all this, mainly because I need it. Wait, am I actively looking for this shit? I think I'm actively looking for this. No, there's something else. And I generally do think that that's a better way of striding forward. I need to learn to come to terms properly. I'm not saying goodbye to my child. I will always remember and I will always continue this way, but I want to start improving standard of living and find stability within oneself. I don't have help, I don't have aid, I don't have support. And through being on my own for such a long time, I physically find it impossible to accept, or unless it's a tool or mechanism. People just piss me off. And I can't be bothered with that confrontation, because I will punch him in the fucking face eventually. Right? I'm the generation that'd come to your front door and ask your mum if you was coming out to play, so I could knock you the fuck out. Not the generation that sat online thinking they were big man bullying people. Okay? There is a complete difference. Nobody in my generation ever thought it was hard by bullying people online. We actually thought you was a wimp, you was a snivelling little coward that needed to go and sort yourselves out and to get the fuck out of our friend group. I mean, I was the one that enjoyed bullying the bullies. Why? You made yourself a target. You gave me a reason to be a dickhead. I took the opportunity. Thank you for that. Simple as. There was many people I used to protect in school. And many people that went through many bad situations. But I never defended the person I liked. I always defended the person that was right. Which is a little bit different. I don't care if you're my best friend or not, mate. If you're the one in the wrong, yeah, I will punch him in the fucking face that you're having a go at. But I'm also, after I've done with that situation, now I'm going to deal with you. But I don't want to be that aggressive person anymore. I don't want to be violent. I've been violent against myself. It was easy picking on others, but it was impossible picking on myself. Yeah, that one actually hurt. Others never bothered me. Right. Picking on someone else is easy, mate. I ain't got to live with the regret or the problems or out like that. Easy, bro. Pussy boys tactics. So I even started to get wound up with myself within the situation. How many of you can strongly say that you got bored of picking on other people, so you started to pick on yourself? I bet you can't. I bet most of you can't even say that, oh, I used to look for bullets in school, so I had a reason to pick on people, because if I didn't have a good enough reason, my dad gave me a good enough reason not to do it again. Where I could go home and my dad can go, why'd you hit him? You were picking on her over there, and you want me to have a go at my son for defending a woman. You want me to have a go at my son for defending someone less fortunate than himself. Look at that fucking kid that's in a wheelchair. You want me to have a go at him? I suggest you go and sort your fucking school out. And the only thing I'd get in trouble for was that my dad had a phone call. Really. My dad had to get off his arse and come to school. That's what I was in trouble for. What I did, he didn't care. I'd get home, I'd have my discipline, and they'd go, right, fuck off. I'm not grinding you. But like I said, make sure you don't get caught next time. I agree with what you've done. And I know why you've done it. So that I can't discipline you properly. But I'm not fucking stupid, boy. And I just sit there with a smile on my face. Dad, can I have a tenner? No. Alright. Excuse me, sir. I see that your lawn is overgrown. Is there any chance that I could use your products to cut your garden? And I will give you my phone, so that you know I'm not running away with your equipment, and I will cut your garden for no less than £2. Yeah, £2 was a lot of money back in my day, eh? Right, that meant 5 gardens. I could go and get myself a smoke. Yeah, go and get myself a tenner's bit. The tenner I wanted at the beginning. Yeah, 5 gardens. And if I wanted a bottle of pop with that smoke, I just only have to do another garden. Right? Money's easy to make. It really is. Look at the OnlyFans models on fucking thingy, and all the simps paying to look at some little slag taking a fucking photo of a fanny. Get a grip. Be a man. Right, if you're really that desperate to see a vagina, mate, type in Google and go on images. I'm pretty sure you'll find many for free. But you mongols are subscribing to one fanny. Do you know the only fanny that I ever subscribed to in my life was my ex? And I subscribed to her with my life. Yeah? It's not by paying to see a vagina. You weak, snivelling little men. Yeah? And the fact that where I'm looking at this OnlyFans platform, and I'm looking at young girls looking forward to turn 16 or 18 so they can make quick, easy money by exploiting their body, is disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. I mean, it's the same thing they've been doing with men for years anyway, so it doesn't really matter anyway. Oh, look at my fanny. Do you want to touch it? Cost you a price. All you got to do is go to work and let me shag your best friend. And that's pretty much seems to be most women's mentality nowadays. Even in my generation, 90s love doesn't even exist within the 90s generation kids, which are the millennials. It's not there anymore. I honestly think nowadays having a child with a woman is entrapment, because if you don't do as she says, you risk losing that child and never seeing that child again, no matter the circumstance. Why am I still? Oh, it's you I need to kill. Da 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 da. Shut your fucking ugly face. Alright, I didn't mean time, I didn't mean all the time. Fuck me, calm down. Yeah, mine goes kaboom and all, bitch. Not particularly as good as yours, especially when you kill yourself like that, but... You know, it comes down to that situation. How did I even kill myself there so easily, you know? I thought I was actually quite a distance from them grenades to affect me. Right, but yes, I actually put maximum effort in, so that's going to be fun. Fuck you! Alright, I'll miss you. Sit down. You're level 13. You were 15 a second ago. How did you lose 2 levels from the engagement? Are you still 15 over there? He's still 15. What happened to you? Hey. You're reverting age or some shit?
Wait, that was it? It's dead?
Well, that one's dead. Excuse me, more important shit. For this game, I'm not gonna lie, I'm enjoying it, but it doesn't really seem to have much motive towards like an actual storyline at the minute. Oh, you're the level 15 there. I'm guessing that wiped that camp out. Fuck you! You again! I really don't think this is damage, to be honest, mate. I feel like they're just laughing like I am. What we're looking at, guys. Alright. Sorry, man. I'll not be ironic again. Alright. Fuck you. Regen some health for a bit. I didn't want to be over there anyway. Right, I'm trying to shoot you there. I'm trying. Stay still. Wait, no. Bye. And plus the game's new, so it gives me something different to overcome. Well, it's not new, but it's new for me. I haven't played this game. I played 3 and 4. Like I said, I was the brain rot fucking Call of Duty player. You know what I mean? I didn't know that any other games existed out of Call of Duty. Right. And, yeah, I'm not being that idiot no more, no offense, but Call of Duty sucks ass. Actually, all offense, Call of Duty sucks ass. Like, the game's shit. It's just the same shit rebranded, re-released. Right, and Call of Duty don't even have its own identity anymore. I mean, it's not even worth the fucking It's not even worth even YouTubing it anymore. Like, why people are still dedicated towards a pile of shit of a game, man, is kind of pointless to me. How we doing, Fishman? Looking after you, son. I'm alive. That's the best I can say about the situation. Yourself? Me, I'm thinking, but I have no inner monologue, so it all comes out loud. But, you know, when I hear it when I'm not doing stuff, I get agitated and angry towards myself, where this allows me to project it in a bit better of a manner. And I've recently had a fucking long conversation with ChatGPT that's allowed me to have more of a rational thinking about it, which has brought me back to where I was previously trying to get out of before my dog passed out. Yeah, I literally feel like I'm racing. How are you still alive, bro? Fuck you. What do you mean there's too many? Who fucking taught you to cat? Oh, that actually reloaded quite quickly. Definitely got slug rounds on this weapon, haven't we? No, 4 damage, not bad. Any need for all this aggression? Oh yeah! Not activate. Spamming L1. I don't really know what that does, you know. Yeah, I just feel like I'm Wraith from Apex Legends, really, with that. You fuck off, man. Alright, calm down, man. It's not your birthday. You're gonna be Easter in a minute, because I'm gonna serve you up on fucking some sacrifice chamber. Fuck off. Oh, how you doing there, big man? Wanna do that again? No, I didn't think you did. Shoot you up the arse, son. Bad dog. Calm down. Sit down now. So. And that's where I'm moving towards in my mindset now. I'm not happy about the situation, but I never will be happy about the situation, to be honest, really. I just need to try and find a direction to move that's a bit more productive than self-torture. I've done actually only 50 press-ups. I did do 25 yesterday, late, but so far I've done 50 press-ups today. Also, when I finish this segment of the hour and a half, I'll be moving on to doing another 25 press-ups, and I would like to get back to the 100 press-ups a day that I used to do, that used to keep me focused and attentive towards stuff. And then eventually I would like to add in my 100 crunch-ups, my 100 handstand push-ups, I can't do sit-ups anymore because of repetition on skating has completely deteriorated the right side of my hip, so it hurts to lean forward, so I don't do sit-ups. That's why I do crunch-ups and 100 pull-ups a day. That's where I would like to get, but I'm only doing those within small segments because I haven't done any of that for such a long time within my life that I would overexert my body by trying to do all that in one day again. So I'm doing it within small segments. So at the minute, I'm focusing on 100 push-ups. And as soon as I can manage 100 push-ups each and every single day without worrying, breaking routine, breaking cycle, at least getting the 100 in a day, it doesn't matter when, but as long as they get in. And then I want to try adding, so like I did with my push-ups, I did 10 push-ups over 10 times. Then I increased it to 15 for a total of 100. And obviously, because it was odd, I also added extra in, or I just did the segments different. So, you know, I do 15 all the way up until 90, and then do the other 10 at some point. And then I eventually moved it to 20, and I managed them perfectly fine. Didn't really affect my body. And now I've moved to where I do 25 press-ups and continue. I don't want to increase the amount of press-ups I'm doing at a time. I think that's reasonable. And my right elbow is fucked. I took a really bad injury, and it does nothing but do click, 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 click each and every time I do the push-ups. Basically, why is because I dislocated my elbow, and it's slowly setting itself into place. Each and every time I actually stretch the bone and the ligament, I get to hear it slowly start popping into place. And there'll be at some point where I'll swing my arm out, and it's going to go, and I'm going to go, oh! I felt that, and then continue with my day. You know, if you ever watch, like, The Pain Men or out like that,
Enough walking.
you know what I mean? Like, won't that hurt? Well, only one way to find out. Yeah, welcome to my generation that grew up on Jackass, grew up on Dirty Sanchez, and actually reenacted quite a lot of their stuff that they was doing. Not the generation that sits there and watches it and thought they did it themselves. Yeah. But over the years, me and my friends became more kind with one another. We still pick on each other and that lot, but we're just not smashing a skateboard over each other's backs. We're not finding a random stick and twatting each other right back at leg just to see if it hurts them. Right? We're actually a lot more kinder to each other than what we used to be in the past. We still pick on each other. The reason why is we're built upon that British area. And the British area that we were built upon was be a man. You know what I mean? Be a man. I see more women, more manly than the men being raised nowadays. I actually see trannies that are more manly than the men I see nowadays. Yeah? And that's a statement there within itself. When I can physically say that a transsexual is more of a man than a man nowadays, that says something. Yeah? I mean, they need to learn to realise that they're more of a man than what they actually are. You know, because I can deal with the fact of that you're a man dressed as a woman. I deal with that fact. I can accept that fact. I can even give you a round of fucking applause. But when you're a man going, I identify as a woman, the only round of applause I've got for you is thicker fuckery. Yeah? That's the only applause I've got for you, mate. Because you live in a delusional lie, and you're also trying to convince people to live the lie that you live. You're not a woman. You're a biological man. You are a man. I mean, come on, let's think of the circumstances. Just imagine it, mate. And I've done this upon many other different areas. as a man, looking at a woman thinking, damn, and then finding out that it had a dick that was bigger than mine, right? That is going to be very disturbing. Whereas she was he or she or shim, right, was more open about that, and you was aware about them circumstances at the beginning, you could choose to decline or change your stance towards the situation. Yeah? But if you're intrigued and enjoy that, well, the way I see it, free will. If you're consenting adults, who the fuck am I to really give a shit? Yeah? You're consenting adults. You should be responsible to know wrong from right, and da da da. Yeah? I can deal with that. Right? But when you're actively trying to convince yourself and others, don't you think you've got enough disturbing mental problems as it is? Never mind trying to convince people to jump on the same bandwagon as you. Right? And also think about it logically. If this woman man has had the operation to have a designer vagina, yeah, and you've been trying for a kid, yeah, and you go to the doctors, and the only person that's not sat in on the joke is you, because you're the joke. Like, well, I'm sorry to break it to you, but the reason why you can't have kids is because I can remember removing... Actually, can you pull your penis out a second? Yeah, she had a much bigger one than you. You get the point. And you could have been in a long, serious relationship, and you've just deteriorated all that trust right there as a transsexual by lying. Yeah? For me personally, I would decline that situation ASAP because I would prefer a biological woman. If I ever felt safe with another woman again, I would want a child. But due to my ex and due to the way that I see the world, I'd rather stay single. And plus I'm broke, so I don't have to make much effort in doing that. You know what I mean? As soon as they find out I got no money, they're already off. They'll quite happily want to shag me for my looks and my experience and who I am as a person. Right? But they're only really looking for that one night stand, and unfortunately, I'm not a trophy. Fuck off. Right? Simple as that. But you see, that's where I get looked upon. I get looked upon as a trophy. Yeah? Not as a partner. And I'm not interacting with that no more.
I might not have a med school degree, but when you get shot, you'll be happy I'm here.
I've never had no problem in communicating with women at all. I actually find it easier to communicate with women than I do men because, well, there's no competition. Most men seem to have an ego trip and for some reason always think that there's a hidden line competition there between. I mean, even one of my mates, I literally told him, like, mate, with your missus, right, you may as well just take me as a gay friend to her. I'm not gay, but to her, I may as well be. Yeah? But I still believe that he suffers with insecurities around. And the reason is because actually me and his missus has actually better conversations than them two probably ever had in their lives. And I managed to get her down to a lot of the problems that she was suffering with that allowed her and him to live an easier life instead of dealing with inner conflict and taking it out on one another. And to be honest, with the way that their daughter is, they need any support and aid that they physically could get. And losing each other and losing that unity would have lost a lot of that. Even with my mate Mitch, I still try to make his life better and give him advice on where to go. I'm not a lazy person. I know exactly how to do anything. I can do anything I actually put my mind to, other than read. I can't read. I hate reading. It bores me. I would rather have a wank with 2 hedgehogs, and I don't mean belly side up. Okay? That's going to be a whole 6 to 8 inch, depending on how much water I've had, of pain. That's what that is. That's what that's going to be right there. Right. Yeah, if you want a bigger penis, guys, you need to increase the blood flow to your penis, and you need to drink more water. So not alcohol, not energy drinks, water. And apparently, according to a lot of women that I've spoken to, drinking pineapple juice is supposed to make your jizz taste nice. But if you got a missus like mine, it'd have been a waste of time drinking it in the first place. I tried all sorts of things. Although, I don't have a missus anymore. I have a previous missus. Ex, whatever you want to call her now. The bitch that I no longer recognise. Right. Because remembering her is remembering all the trauma. But with her, I'm trying to remember it on my own, because that's where I am. Right? Bringing someone that's not into the scenario anymore, even though we should have been going through this together, and we should have been supporting each other together through this, we didn't. I tried my best, and she went numb. She died inside. I watched my ex turn to a zombie. And like she said to me, I don't be with you anymore. Like, why? Because we got no money, we got no this. Yeah, but we love each other. Yeah, but love's not everything. What do you mean love's not everything? So you're telling me that you would sleep with a man that you don't love because of financial gain? Yeah. Then you're just a fucking prosy. Fucking prostitute. Telling me I could have just paid you £100 a night and I wouldn't have to put up with your bullshit all the time.
Kill them all!
Fuck me. Why did I get the shit option? The circumstances and the shit she just said out of her mouth, that was my conclusion to that. I analyse the situation, I run the evidence, and I run exactly what she said. Yeah? And that's the problem with women nowadays. You're too busy trying to be a princess, but never ever ever was royalty in the first place. Yeah? And for a world that claims equality, I think it's a bit time that the women go to work and the women don't get to win the custody battle in court. You know, for equality reasons, 50-50, I think it's fair time that the males get a chance to raise the kids. While the women go to work and do all the stuff. Because there was nothing more annoying than doing a fucking 12-hour fucking shift and coming back and my ex going, I want to go out, we don't go out, and it's like, I'm knackered, sweetheart. I'm fucking drained. I've just done a 12-hour shift. Like, I'm fucked. Like, yeah, but at least you got to go out. I got to go out to work, sweetheart. Did you think I were fucking going out for a rave or something? You think I went to Download Festival and got in a mosh pit and a wall of death and enjoyed myself?
Oh my god, I'm leaking.
Exactly. So you're sat there going, mate, there were no fun. It's an obligation for me and you to be able to survive and a necessity on where we need food and to be able to provide for my child. There is nothing fun, there is nothing entertaining about going to fucking work. It's a necessity to keep us two afloat so that we don't drown. Do you not understand that? Exactly. Right? So don't sit there and say to me, well, at least you've got to go to work. You go to fucking work and I'll stay at home. After you give birth, you go to fucking work and I'll stay at home. And then when you come back, sweetheart, after a long day of work, and go, well, at least you got to go out. It's not the same. How is it not the same? Why is it one rule for you and one rule for me? Apparently that was too hard to answer. And the reason why is because she knew I was right. I gave her evidence. I gave her a reason and a level and an understanding to where she could not come back from. I mean, the best one is when she tried to accuse me of sleeping with my own cousin. That was amusing, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I know you're cheating on me. Excuse me, sweetheart. Who am I cheating on you with? Amanda. So I burst out laughing in front of her face ASAP. I know you're cheating. I know you're cheating. Like, you fucking stupid you are. Like, why am I stupid? Why am I stupid? Well, incest might be a fucking game for your family to play, but it's not in mine. I don't know what you mean. Well, Ben, King, Amanda, King. I mean, at least we wouldn't need to get married. We could just put a ring on our finger and say we already did it. And that's when the relationship was done. Because there was no coming back from that. She made herself look like a twat on a level that was impossible to regain any sort of structure or power or manipulated game. And honestly, I ain't gonna lie, I actually thought it was rather amusing in the long run. And I went to sleep thinking nothing about it, but you know, 2 weeks later when I woke up with nothing inside the household, I soon realised that, yep, that's what you get for being a smart ass man. You know, if you'd have just sat there and gone, yes sir, 3 bags full sir, you'd still be with your child. But because you didn't choose to stay in this entrapment, and you chose to rebel against this entrapment, you got met with punishment. And that's where I come to the perspective, having a child with a woman is entrapment nowadays. Because if you don't do as you're told, your risk is losing her and your child. And probably nowadays, the 500 that she brought with her. It's not me putting my fanny out like it's out of fashion, mate. That's you women. Go and solve it. Alright. Tom, I thought I got pregnant 9 times. Did you get raped? No. I don't understand that statement then. Did you get raped once through those 9 pregnancies? No. Then I don't physically understand. Where do you go? I can't process. Yeah, I mean, obviously it's your fault.
Shots fired from these weapons have a chance of exploding on impact. For massive damage.
I mean, that shit's confusing to me, man. Like, I mean, the problem is I wasn't even being argumentative. I was being inquisitive and asking questions. And due to my disorders, it's actually generally a part of my nature. It's what I do. Right? The way I see it, I hear the argument, and I hear your side, and I hear your side. But see, what you didn't listen to is this in the middle. There is one person's version and the other person's version, and then there's the borderline truth in the middle of both persons' versions. Me, I don't care whether you like me, whether you hate me, or out like that. I'm not a brand-nosed motherfucker that wants everybody to kiss my arse, and trust me, I don't want to kiss your shitty arse either. Right? I am me. You take me as I come, or you fuck off, because I didn't give a shit in the first place. Right? I'm not here to cater everyone's needs, I'm here to cater for myself. I'm here for myself. Right? But, given the opportunity to be able to help others, I would. But I'm not in a financial state like a famous YouTuber with a load of money sat in the bank account begging other YouTubers to donate money even though they've got enough money to solve the issue anyway. Mr. Beast. Alright? And also Mr. Beast, why have you got pedos and confected people that was sent to jail or, you know, at least admitted to pedophilia working on your team, Mr. Beast? Because that's a bit weird to me, brother. I mean, I'm not going to lie. And that's why I would never collab with you, no matter how much it brings, because I believe that you're a fucking nonce. I don't get why you would work with pedos. I don't get why you would be around them in the first place, unless you know, you're disposing of a waste of space. Like, that shit don't make sense. But you gave him a job and turned one into a tranny. Well done. You have no morals. You have no respect. You have no self-worth. You are not worth my time. And I've never gave a shit about you until I've got your noncy-ass beef jerky in the middle of my fucking store. And do you know how many times I have picked your beef jerky up and launched it across the store and then walked out of my local Tesco? Huh? It's a bit weird to me, mate, because, I mean, I don't even want to be around my own fucking cousin because he admitted guilty to this shit. Because he got told that if you admit guilty, you can walk out here today. What? Don't fucking ever be around me again, mate. I'm done with you, bruv. And that's what he did. He admitted guilty and got to walk away scot-free that day.
Let's see what we've got.
And I'm supposed to believe in the justice system. I'm supposed to believe it's for them. My ex failed to protect my child, but you got better thought of than I did. And then I got victimised, not being around my son for 3 months, because he ended up with a bleed on his brain. Yeah, but she might have caused a bleed on her brain, but she's got accusations against you where you was abusing her. Oh, for fuck's sake, man. How many women run the same fucking story and yet you still, oh shit, you're a woman I'm talking to. My bad. Well, that's sexist. Like you taking her side isn't sexist at all. Well, you also smoke cannabis, we know that. Yeah, I do smoke cannabis. It helps me with my mental health, it helps me slow things down, and it helps me rationalise things in a better manner. Alright, that's why I smoke cannabis. That's it. There are only reasons. Instead of my mind running at 154 million times where, never mind anyone else trying to keep up with me, even I'm playing catch up with myself. Alright. I don't want any of that shit. I'm all about the game, not the situation. And yet, the one that failed to protect still gets to see my child, while I've done nothing but live in misery and agony for someone else's wrongdoing. Where's the justice system in that? Oh, and the person that put a blade on my son's brain right? A hemorrhage is what it's called, hemorrhage on the brain, right? It's basically where the brain ends up bleeding, right? Gets to walk away fucking scot-free. Not a single fucking thing got done. But yet I have to live in misery, agony, suffering, constant relapse, constantly thinking back. I mean, honestly, if I didn't love my children this much, do you think I'd live in this much pain by trying to keep their memories alive inside my mind? One of them was born with wings, and one of them I don't get to see. I don't really know the difference between both. Other than with Kyle, I have good memories with. You know, unfortunately, through the situation that we went through, I got to go to Sandybank once a fortnight to see him for 2 hours. Now, don't get me wrong, that's a rubbish time set. It's pathetic. But compared to what I previously had was fuck all, it was better than nothing. And trust me, I wanted to kill Poggy, and I got him by his throat anyway, and watch him shit himself in the middle of the bus station while I was on the phone to my ex asking, I've got this motherfucker now, can I deal with him? And she said the right thing at the right time, no, think about Kyle. So I let go of the little bastard, and I got on my bus, and I came back to Oak Tree. I'd have choked him out until he went fucking purple without a second thought, mate. Would have not gave a fuck about the situation. Okay? Would have not. But unfortunately, Jess was right. Think about Kyle. We don't have him in our custody. He's not in family custody. Now, she didn't say this bit, but the thinking about Kyle got me to this situation. Right? He's not in family custody. He's not in family's hands. If Jess ends up unfit to have him back, I would have to step up. And so on and so forth. In the end, due to every accusation that she made behind, basically said about me to everything, messed me up completely. But luckily, for Kyle's sake, he got to stay in with a family because the maternal grandmother got residential order over him. Therefore, allowing him to remain at least in one side of the family. Instead of going off to social services, being adopted out, and more likely having his whole identity changed. Oh, and sadly I got told, go and get your problems diagnosed or you don't see your kid. So, I mean, that's pretty much a no-brainer really there, isn't it? You go get your problems diagnosed and, you know, you deal with the problem. But unfortunately when I did that, I ended up becoming a deadbeat bum in the same situation. To the point where streaming was something I was good at. It was a positive side. It was something that I focused on because I was good at this. I was watching a lot of spoiled brats make a lot of money out of streaming. And plus I needed money to go to court. I kind of put two and two together and assumed that this would have been a great investment of time. The long run, it became a waste of time. An absolute waste of time and a waste of my life, effort and energy. Although without it, I would have spiraled back to cocaine, back to alcohol, back to cannabis, back to doing stuff that I shouldn't be doing to be able to get around in life and be able to afford the stuff that I need. So I dedicated myself to this instead of going back to the person that I came from after getting with Jess. Because when she got pregnant, I prefer the chance of a family instead of a bit of fucking money in my pocket. because I'm doing something stupid on inside. Or something daft like that. And this is a legal format of me earning money. Right? You know what debt collector is? On the street? I'll tell you what that is. That's when you fucking give someone a whoop ass in and tell them that they better get their fucking debts paid or else you're coming back.
You should be able to get into the mine now. There's nothing between you and Sledge, and we're one step closer to the vault. I believe in you.
I didn't want that life. I don't see drug users as a bad thing. As unfortunately, cannabis actually became my best friend in the long run. It was something I was comfortable talking to. Even though I was only talking to myself, but it was in a better manner than the previous areas I was doing. But it wasn't due to that. I started smoking cannabis at a young age. I was smoking draw at like the age of 7. Right? I was the little brat that would sit in the classroom burning draw with a match under the table so that I could go out at dip break time to have a zoot. Right? And yeah, I did get caught many times, but you know when even teachers give up on you? Oh, why am I actually trying to quick scope? I actually missed that on a hard scope. Okay. I didn't want to relapse back into that situation because I spent so much time getting away from it in the first place. So I didn't want to revisit it at all. At fucking all. Been there, done that, well on the t-shirt, didn't get anywhere with it in the first place. Waste of time. So, I looked for a more productive outlet, which became streaming. I looked at what I was good at. I looked at what I wasn't good at. I started to analyse. I started to process. Right? And this is where I came into streaming. Streaming was a safe place. You know? I could be at home, playing my games, and I wouldn't have to affect anybody physically. I mean, most people will be like, mate, you've done 50 press-ups today. Go onto my YouTube channel, go onto the shorts, and you'll see a few of my exercises that I'm actually capable of doing. And I do that with ease. I don't do that with any area of struggling. You want to go to a gym tossing off dumbbells all day, mate? I'm not really that much of a person that's got the dedication to do that. Don't get me wrong, if you want to toss off a dumbbell all day, I actually admire that you've got the dedication to do that. But that's boring for me. Boring as fuck. I prefer doing pull-ups, push-ups, sit-ups. I prefer working on core strength instead of muscle mass due to the fact that I've never been able to put weight on in my whole entire life. I am 32 years of age. I still weigh 9.5 stone from the day of being 14. And the only time I put weight on is a before and an after. I'll go for a shit, weigh myself, I'm 10 stone. Have the shit, I'm 9.5 stone. I am 32 years of age that still weighs the same weight from when I was 14. And it doesn't matter how much I overeat.
Our attention that you've been at war with elements of the local population.
I'm at war with
And you've
myself.
now been contracted to assassinate one of their leaders. This type of unsanctioned mercenary activity undermines the stability of the region. You have been warned. These continued insurgent activities will not be tolerated. Abandon this futile pursuit and turn yourself in while you still can.
Sounds like a promise. K&K, let's go. Maybe we should get the whips and chains out and all. Alright, and that's the thing. Me personally, I don't really care, mate. Right, drug dealers are not really a bad thing, and neither are drugs. Number one, do you really know what led the person there in the first place to be sat there judging? Hey, or did you just feel really weak about yourself, find someone weaker than yourself, mate, and needed to pick on them to make yourself feel better? Hey, what's the truth upon that? I think it is that you're really a weak person that needs to look down on people less fortunate than yourself to feel better about yourself. And I would say that that's where you suffer with a lot of insecurities, and you probably need to go and work upon them. Alright? And unfortunately, within 2 days, I've had about 2.5 hours skip. In 2 days, and yet I still work at a function a million times better than anybody else. I listen to people, I've been up for 12 hours, I've been up for 16 hours, I've been up for 19 hours. Yeah, an average day is 36 hours for me, to 26. Since I've got older, I've noticed it started to deteriorate. And I'm happy about that, you know, because that means I get to rest. But when I was younger, I could stay up to anywhere to about easily fucking a week without a problem. And I wouldn't need upper drugs to be able to do that. I actually used upper drugs to encourage the wrong source of dopamine inside my body. I was the kid that always looked for the next high, sort of thing. Right? And that is what you call just being young, dumb and stupid, that is. Just young, dumb and stupid. Right, there's no other way to put that. There's no other way to say that. I was young, I was dumb, and I was stupid. I missed.
Time to pound some meat puppets.
Alright. I mean, I even had to go have a go at one of my mates. And what have I told you about that fucking substance? Yes, I know, it's not good and everything. I know, you told me, Ben, and I'm sorry. Yeah, you had to go and find out for yourself, though, didn't you, dickhead? Yeah, and that's how we learn, unfortunately, sometimes. And my mate looked at me like confused. So I told him to say dead set against that shit. But looking at his circumstance, he was a man that stayed at home and he nurtured his 5 kids and tried his best to look after his missus. Yeah? After losing all that and being at home on his own all the time with as many problems as he suffers with, because he basically is a psychopath, and I'm the only person that can bring him back into line. Think about that. I have a psychopathic friend that will not stand up against me. Yeah? A psychopath that will not raise his voice, will not raise his anger, or anything when it comes to dealing with me. That's due to the past and the respect that we learnt as we grew older towards one another. Yeah? But if it came to an actual fist-to-fist fight, he wouldn't even fucking step. And I know that because as soon as I lose my temper with him, he sits there and listens. But he also knows I'm doing it out of love and not anger towards him. He just knows that I expect better. But I can't judge him for something I did myself. But I can feel bad that he didn't listen to me. And that's the bit that pisses me off. Not the fact that he went and did it. The fact that he didn't listen to the dumbass that's already been there, done that, worn the t-shirt. Turns out he needed to borrow it a little bit. But the way that he's going in life now that he actually started to listen to me, he's moved into a new property, and he's gone to the seacoast. He's moved quite a far distance away from me. I explained my problems about him moving as well, that if you do go all the way out there, other than a phone call, you don't have me as that clutch anymore. You're going to have to learn to control yourself. You're not going to have no aid, no support. This is a big step for you. Yes? And he agreed with me. As I pretty much just did there. And he has. He's got across to Newcastle. I'm proud of him. That's a big step for him, man. I'm not going to lie. Because he's used to being grounded. I'm used to moving left, right and centre anyway. I've done it all my life as a child. Like, it doesn't matter. But now to someone that's used to being grounded and in the same place, in the same area, in the same neighbourhood, and in the same town, now that's a big fucking step. And due to the fact that I know how he is, because we are brothers from other mothers, right? When we hang up, we say, love you, bro. Right? And he says, I love you too. And then sometimes he might go, I love you, bro. And I'll have to go, I love you too, brother. Right? And if you ain't saying that I love you to your brother, are they really your brother? Are they really your friends? Like, because you should be showing compassion, empathy, and warmth towards your friends and the people that you love. So express it. As not many people know that they are loved, especially when they are on their own all the time. And I'm sick of it as a society that wants to gang up on one person and think that they're bad, man. Yeah? Fucking hell, you're a whole group going up against one man, and you think you've got something to be proud about. Sort your fucking act out, you little muppets. For I get my fucking biking gear on and come and say hello to you. And trust me, if I come at you with my carbon fibre knuckles, I'm taking mercy on you. Because I actually prefer flesh to flesh. It's kind of like a sexual thrill for me. I don't ask. I just figured it out through trial and error and learning. But it doesn't really prove anything, and it doesn't change the world, and nor does it leave my son, knowing that his dad's this sort of way, in a better manner of looking at ways of dealing with things. So I had to learn to change myself in the first place. But through the court system and everything, I mean, I had no choice, you know. There was a man that injured my son and caused a bleed on his brain. I wanted to take his life and was happy to do that. Everyone around me and in my proximity knew I had no problem in slitting his throat in front of the judge if needed. Okay? If that was the only way for me to get at him. I did it. But, due to the situation of my son, I had one or two opportunities. Right? Either be angry at the situation and do what I believe is right and end up in jail because of that, and then my son going off to care because daddy made a stupid mistake instead of fighting for me in court. Right? My ex failed to protect. He wasn't in our custody anymore. He wasn't in the family's custody anymore. So I had to prioritize. Do I want to go and do what I believe is right, or do I stand by my son? Now that's pretty much a no-brainer on what I did. You see, the difference is most of you think that a gangster's some sort of bad man. No, a true gangster, mate, looks after his family. He looks after his home. He looks after his neighbourhood. And he makes sure everyone's safe. Alright? And he definitely makes sure that people that are less fortunate than himself are not being picked on by muggos. Yeah? Muggos, bro. So you ain't no little gangster or out like that, mate, if you're going around looking for people less fortunate than your fucking self to pick on. A gangster looks for something worth its fucking time, mate. Which is why I used to look for bullies. That's why most of my actual friends that I had in the school was actually bully victims. Yeah? I didn't care about the popular kid. Fuck off. I am the popular kid, mate. Right? Everyone's intrigued about me. No one gives a fuck about you. Right? Every school that I ever went into, I was the popular kid. I was always picked first at any sports. Yeah? Any sports. Rugby, tennis, football, basketball. Alright? I was picked first. Not last, not second, first. Because I had the agility and the strength and the compassion towards the team. I was always the first to be picked. And that's more than I can say about most of you. I mean, shit. At the age of 13, I could climb to the top of the rope that used to hang off the gym, or the sports centre, or the sports hall, or whatever you called it in your school, with using nothing but my hands. And I can still do that now.
Everything you've faced up until now has been simple. You're about to face a real challenge in Sledge. Do not underestimate him.
Well, I hope he's got his brown pants. Yeah? Always first. And the reason why is I was very quick and skinny and an agile little bastard, and I knew what I was doing when it came to pretty much every sports. Shit, I was even good at chess when I was a kid. I'm still actually good at chess, but I don't like the checkmate rule and I don't like check. I know why it's there, but it irritates me. I'm a player that likes to take the pieces, so that part of the game and that rule within the game irritates me. So I'm more of a checkers player than chess. But I do prefer the way that pieces are able to move on the chessboard. I just really don't like the checkmate rule. And the reason why I don't like the checkmate rule is my mum could checkmate me in 3 moves. It became highly frustrating with no matter how many times I tried to combat my mum checkmating me, I still ended up in fucking checkmate. Right? But my mum is a world champion, well, was a champion in her school when it came to chess. So, of course she's good at it. I mean, Alzheimer's runs through the female side on my mother's end of the family. If my mum ever gets Alzheimer's, and yes, I have told her, and forgets me, I would play chess with her. Because if she still beats me, I know she's still in there. At least a little bit. A little bit just to satisfy me. And it's what I'm used to anyway. And if I whoop her ass, mate, I will fucking rub it in her face. Don't worry, she'll forget about it anyway. Oh, and cancer runs on the male side of the family. Whoop whoop.
Greetings, traveler. New missions are available at the Firestone Bounty Board.
Hey, think about it. If I become a transsexual, right, I could get Alzheimer's to forget all the problems that absolutely destroy my place, and I can get cancer that puts me out of my misery. I don't think it works like that. But when you have a negative mindset and you're an Irish cynical little bastard, you kind of think that way. I'm not gonna lie. Right. But I'm only blood. I'm not homeborn. Yeah. But I'd probably say that I'm more Irish than English. And more by like the way that I view things and do things. I would say it's more an Irish way than a British way, to be honest. Level 19. I gotta carry that for 2 levels. And to be honest, I would rather be Irish than English at the moment, because at least the Irish are actually doing what's needed within the world to solve this map issue we've got. Right? As far as I can see, this map issue we've seemed to have let rats free for some reason, and we need to do something seriously about this situation. Okay? I don't care what you want to call them when it comes to the map situation. I would rather call them nonce, pedo, chomo, chumbucket, wood chipper. JD would be proud of me on that one. Right? Because they're the names that they deserve. Yeah? Death row. Out of our society. Are we going to prioritise these fucking weirdos over our kids? And after they've destroyed our kids' lives before they've had a chance to start, should they really deserve to continue living theirs? I'll do the execution myself. Right? My great-great-granddad invented the long noose so that people would fucking die quicker. So I'm quite happy to be the executioner and kill these people if you're all too pussyfoot to do it yourselves. Give me the fucking person that deserves it. I'll deal with the fucking problem. Move upon your way like you didn't care in the first place. Yeah? Because I don't get why you prioritise a fucking chomo over your own kids. I can truly say that prisoners do more work than our governments to protect our kids. Because honestly, do you know what happens to a chomo when they go into prison and they find out? Do a little research. It'll not take you long. Actually, why don't you have a look at the situation that's different between Britain and America? You see, our famous noncy little bastard that went to jail, yeah, the lead singer of Lost Prophets, got shanked up, bruv. Motherfucker got what he deserved. What you lot doing with P. Diddy over there? What are you doing with P. Diddy over there? Why is he still breathing? Hey? Where's your moral compass? Where's your honour? Where's your instinct to protect your young? Where's your respect for yourselves? Because Britain, we get rid of him in the justice system, mate, if needed. I mean, you can attack Keir Starmer, but I don't support him, so that won't affect me at all. I'll agree with you. Yeah? I'll even sing a song with you. Keir Starmer's a wanker. Keir Starmer's a wanker. Some would say he's Jimmy Savile's biggest fan. Yeah? I'll do it for you. Shit, I'll even rip the fuck out myself for you. Alright, and I'll even rob this off a little Webby, that's his name, or Webby, I think it's Webby. Right, shit, I'm so skinny I look like I came first place in the tapeworm challenge. Right, fun. And number one, it's also relatable with me. Right, I weigh 9.5 stone. I would win, honestly. If I went to a model show, they'd all be jealous of my figure over theirs. Right? They would all be jealous. Guess what? Picky boo. I see you. Yeah.
Kill him now!
That's how I feel about pedos, bro. Me and you could get along.
I got too many guns on me!
You've got one gun on you, and I'm literally like 3 feet in front of you, dickhead. Oh, I got a doll. But why haven't you done it with P. Diddy?
Come on, little
About, and the worst bit is there's amounts of evidence stacked against him. I don't get why he's still alive. I won't give a fuck if he's famous or not, mate. In hindsight, you don't deserve to live. I mean, there's only one song I actually like from P. Diddy, and that's Bad Boys for Life. Right? And more like, he only likes Little Boys for Life. It's probably the better terminology of that song for him. Oh, where your moral compass is. I mean, I wouldn't care how rich he is anyway. I wouldn't extort him for his money. I would want to extort him for his blood. And especially if I was in jail. Because, I mean, other than... I may as well give something back to society if I was in jail. And the worst bit about it is a lot of people in jail have kids. Just because they're in jail don't mean they have kids.
I'm really good at
Like, they don't have kids just because they're in jail. It doesn't work like that. Right? Most of them are in jail for one reason only. They lacked funding. They needed funding. They did something stupid. They got caught. They faced the repercussion. I get that. Sadly, I do fully understand that. Alright? And I don't judge that. You did what were right with the tools that you had at your hand. And unfortunately, if they're the only tools that you've got to provide for your family, then you're going to use them, aren't you? You're going to do what's right. So now it's time for us all to stand together as humanity and go, do you know what, government? We want the power back to the people. But do you know what? We don't like you, and just how we elected you, we want you out. And we want this person in. The problem is sadly, I believe if Hitler actually won in World War II, we probably wouldn't have a single pedo in this world. Because eventually, as a whole world working under one order, we would have learned to realize what was more prioritized. Instead of where we have this capability of, oh, our people are not doing as they're told. What should we do anymore? Invent a disease. Right, we did that and it's not working. What should we do now? Create a war. We did that, that's not really working. What should we do now? Increase taxes so poverty causes problems. We've done that, that's not working now. What should we do now? The only thing we can do really is release the Epstein files. End of the day, if we think about it logically, the people that we employ to protect us are the people in the first place. So if the people we employ to protect us realize that they're going against their own kind by doing this, we're fucked. Yeah, but luckily the police officers prioritize that paycheck over their own children and their own society that they're sworn to protect the peace in. Yeah, they even made an oath to that, didn't they? Yes, they did. To the Queen or the King, especially within Britain. Because this is how I talk to a police officer if being interacted with. Excuse me, sir, or madam, but are you here to uphonour your oath today? If not, I refuse this engagement and I will be on my way. And I take them back to the law of the land. Yeah? No theft, no assault, and no adultery. Go and shove your acts and statutories up your arse. It's not my fault that somewhere in the long run, everyone became a crybaby fucking snowflake little bitch. Yeah? And it's not my fault. Right? How me and my mates communicate is when we see each other, and like with my mate Glyn, if we were to see each other in the street, it'd be middle finger, and then we'd salute each other. Yeah? Or we'd put 3 bumps on our chest and hold up the peace sign close to our heart. They're 3 of the tactics that we'd do. Or, how you doing, you ugly bastard? Not too bad, you wanker. Well, someone's got to pull it. You fucking prick. Right? Because it's bants, it's flying. Fucking hell, Britain were built up on a Viking heritage. Right? We've been invaded that many fucking times, mate, that we don't really know what a language is. It's just a bunch of mixed up everything. Which is why English is one of the hardest languages to actually learn. Especially when it comes to writing. And trust me, I'm English. I fucking know. We're being a dyslexic cunt. I really know. Right? You see, another thing and all with these trannies, no offence, due to the wrong uns using this as an advantage to be a sick little weird pervert in the bathroom, I would much prefer the man dressed as a woman being in the man's toilet so I can keep an eye on the little bastard. They should not be allowed in the woman's toilet. Alright? And if that's not good enough, well then, fair dues. We need to create another toilet. Yeah? So we can have 4 toilets instead of just 3. Yeah? Male, female, disabled. Well, now we need another one. Thick as fuck. Yeah? And trust me, I get wanting to escape from oneself. I have multiple different personalities that even I've had to learn to accept. I get it. And honestly, majority of it is either force-fed into your own mind by others. I mean, I'm a skater with long hair. Majority of my life, you look like a girl because you got long hair. Are you gay? You asking for future preferences, eh, gay boy? No, no. Then why the f would you care? Unless you want to put your cock up my arse, or you're going to let me put my cock up your arse, why would that have any interest of you? Yeah, make it make sense, dickhead. Make it make sense. Because honestly, do you know, if someone else is gay, right, I don't care. It's none of my interest. It doesn't affect me. It doesn't bother me. Right? And trust me, I've had gay men flirt with me before. I've had gay men offer me fucking a lot of fucking things. Right? But I've never took it. Because I'm not gay. Now, if a woman was to offer me this, and she was attractive, shit the bed, mate. I'd probably snatch that shit up. I'd snatch her snatch quicker than I could say, Bob's your fucking uncle. You know what I mean? That'd been my vagina, nobody else's. How quick I would have snatched that snatch. But, unfortunately, it's the men that are desperate enough to try and bribe people to get into the pants. Which we can clearly see by OnlyFans. Now, I think, honestly, if we didn't have money in the situation and stuff like that, I think we still have the porn industry. I still think we'd have the sex appeal industry. I still think we would have models and stuff like that. I think porn would be for people that can't stay in relationships. Yeah? Because there's no point. So if all you're after is a shag, go work in the industry. Yeah? If you need external validation, go be a model. Yeah? You understand where I'm going with this. Right? Because then that way, nobody get hurt. And also, if you do find a committed relationship, they'd be fully aware by your position of what type of person you are. And they would have to make that decision themselves. Also, within the porn industry, it would all have to be safe, clean, checked, everything, and regulated. But due to money issues, we can't prioritise humanity's health at any shape or form. I mean, as a humanity and an intelligent race, so that we call ourselves, we can't even come to one conclusion on what the fuck we inhabit on. Yeah? We do not know whether we live on a flat earth, a globe, or a matrix. You're telling me, on a scale that big, you can't come to a conclusion. You can't come to a decision. Well, that will probably explain why the world is completely fucked. Hasta la vista, baby. Right. And bear in mind, I'm just a madman ranting on YouTube, playing a game, trying to distract himself with no inner monologue, trying to process and analyse situations to see what the fuck's going on. Yeah. And I happily admit that. Yeah. Happily. The reason why is because I live in denial, mate. I'll never probably sort the problem out. You took that. I pressed the trigger. I'm not quick scoping. I think it's aim assist. I'm not sure. Yeah, it's aim assist. Right, look. Red marker. Oh, hey, dickhead, I'm trying to prove something here. Get the fuck back here. Watch. I'm not going to move my right analog stick. I'm going to wait for that cross arrow to go red. See how it snapped to him. Aim assist. Oh, wow, look how good I am at games, guys. It's doing it for me. Wow, really good at games, bro. I may as well go and get myself a Titan. And have a smaller penis than what I previously had. Hopefully not as small as his, though. I know, innit? I even pick on cheaters. Oh, and you little audio, little tech bitches, right? You really need that much advantage over your opponent in a game. You sat there with like a fucking top of the range PC, top of the range monitor, playing on the top of the range internet, getting the best servers because you're on a PC. Yeah, you still feel like you need to cheat in a game. Because I realised that cheating on console got more bad when you PC players could interact and play with us. So do me a favour, PC players, fuck off into your own server, and maybe the cheating might die down on the PlayStation and the Xbox. And go and play with your little expensive gadget on your own. Yeah? Spoiled little brats. And if you worked for it, I apologise, you deserve it, you earned it, and it's 100% yours. Right? Leave us little fucking PlayStation players and Xbox players alone that pretty much run on basic necessity to live, to play a game. Yeah? And you think you're good, bro. Sat around 3 fucking monitors, mate, stuff like that. Playing against console players. Casual players, mate, that have probably just come home from a hard day's work, you know, spent a bit of time with the family. They're exhausted. And all they're trying to do is wind down and enjoy themselves and play the game. Either with a friend, or with themselves, or from mates at work. And then we've got you little pathetic, spoiled little brat fucking streamers ruining it for everybody,
Yeah, great view
because
or
you're
whatever.
full
Let's
stacking
move, please.
lobbies, you're two boxing, you scream and shout at each other in a game, bro. You're screaming and shouting at each other in games. And the best thing about it is when you're full stacking with each other, mate, you're not even friends. You're a little weirdo that went on a forum or a Discord begging for people to play with you, bro. Begging. Begging. Instead of like when I go on Apex Legends and I play the game, if I'm in a bad mood, I put myself in a party chat so that I don't interact with the people that I'm playing with, because unfortunately, they can't do out about the situation. Yeah? They're gonna have to listen to me. See, with on YouTube, if you interact with my channel, the reason why you stay is either you enjoy, I'm hitting notes that you can resonate with, yeah? Or, you just find it intriguing. Either which way, you're still getting something out of watching. Personally, on my end, I only have speculation. I don't have observation, and I have no evidence. Yeah? So I only have speculation to go off from what I assume. I mean, the most people that are watching my channel now, I assume that you came to watch the channel because you love Borderlands. Me, I'm playing this game because I've never played this. I didn't have the funding to, play any game I wanted. I had Brain Rot, Call of Duty, 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 because that's all I could afford. I got one game once a year. So you can imagine which game I prioritised on. Yeah? Brain Rot, Call of Duty, Bicky Boo. No, touche. But honestly, mate, do you know if I was sat there with a top of the range everything, yeah, I don't even feel good at a game when I'm running on console and 36 megabyte of internet. Yeah? But you motherfuckers that are free stacking and full stacking in casual lobbies, so a game that was supposed to be for fun, and you're also two boxing with like a 0.2 KD to get easier lobbies, and you are, don't even lie. I watch majority of people within the YouTube community, and I like to watch, observe, I speculate, I get observation, which allows evidence to occur. And then upon that evidence, I will make my final verdict. Yeah? And majority, I kind of think you're just shit at the game. The Rick that I do watch, 9 times out of 10 when I watch him, and the reason why I enjoy watching the Rick, right, when it comes to Call of Duty, is because number one, it's a guy with ADHD being himself. That's fucking nice to see for a change. Right? But also, his dad's got a good background, and, he's pretty much been catered for all his life, pretty much, and he works with his dad in his dad's business. Yeah? Daddy's boy. Yeah? And I don't mean that as offence either, Rick, in case you ever watch or ever get this sent to you. Right? But you're a daddy's boy. Right? And that's not a bad thing either, bro. It just means you're family and orientated and you put family first. That's a good I can't pronounce it. But that's a good thing to have for a human. Right? So don't take that as a negative thing. That's just me delivering a shit sandwich. Is probably the best way to put that. And don't worry, I do this with myself on a regular basis. So if you think I'm safe from myself, I'm actually the worst person that I ridicule. And I can give you multiple factors and reasons why I know that. See, you only know what I say about myself and everything that I'm willing to actually speak about. But you see, I know everything about myself. Yeah? Which is why you are your own worst critic. Because of that factor. Yeah. And it really comes down to generally that. And basically what we all need to do is we all need to learn to start playing nice with ourselves and start playing nice with one another. The problem is you're all on an ego trip, burning yourself out. I need off your fucking head, mate. What the fuck's that about? Do you know, if I were back playing World at War, mate, right? People like, oh, you should take some anise to play a game, bro. Take some anise. Some anise. Mate, you know fucking fatheads, bro. That's what you are, bro. You're worse than a fathead, mate. You're taking pharmaceutical drugs to keep you alert and active within a game. Yeah? You are worse than a fucking crackhead, you. At least the crackhead's got a reason to be in that position. Yeah? They went through pain. They went through trauma. They went through life. You sat in front of a computer screen, mate, and eating your son off, mate, for what? To be famous on YouTube. Oh, God. What a waste of space. And don't even get me started on the little 2-boxes and stuff like that. Which actually worked out in my favour, because I came away from multiplayer games and went to campaign games. Which allowed me to, you know, re-in touch with oneself. You know, I was good at multiplayer games and stuff like that, but I was good in Black Ops 3. And then I was good in Apex Legends. But somewhere, when system matchmaking came into games, that faded. But at least I know I'm not any little crackhead, right, playing a game, bruv. And I've got more respect for the crackheads than I have you motherfuckers. Yeah? Little fucking any little twats, bro. Oh, I gotta be scared, what? A fucking Biffles leader that looks like a fucking nonce that does nothing but groom kids. I mean, look at his fucking Call of Duty team that he's built. I'll make you famous on YouTube if you let me touch your bumhole. You can tell what his fucking job line is, can't you? And he looks like a fucking nonce. I tell him to his face. I mean, what's he gonna do? Sue me? Good luck. I ain't got shit. I'm basically fucking Stifler, you retard. Sue me. I ain't got fuck all. And plus, you know, I'll get a free holiday out of it and all, because I'm going to have to fly across there that you're going to have to pay for. Clip it, send it in. The only problem is I can't see the disappointment on his face when he receives it. So, if he does, can someone please at least let him know? Can you record it before you view what he said, so that you can see the disappointment on your face? It'll not be as good as me seeing it in person, but it's a start. You know what I mean? I'm one of these people, mate. If I said something behind your back and someone else told you, sorry, I didn't get there first. Because honestly, I'd have much preferred to do it myself. How am I accessing this upper layer here? Like I said, my generation, to get somebody out that you wanted to beat up, you had to go and knock on a door and go, excuse me, is George coming out today? Give me a second, sweetheart. George! Someone's at the door for you. Who is it, Mum? Who is it? Oh, it's Ben. It's Ben. I'll be down in a minute, Mum. and that was our generation. We didn't sit there bullying people online. No, that shit were easy, bro. That's a little pussy boy's little fucking tactic. We don't do that. That's not the millennial way. Yeah? I had someone come to a door with a knife. Right? And he peekabooed me. Now, the problem is due to the situation, I didn't have a weapon or any way to actually defend myself due to the situation. The only obligation and the only thing that I could have done within that time was shut the door in his face and lock the door and prevent him from coming in. And once the door was secure, I told him, mate, there's 20 quid in here, you're wasting your time. I suggest you fuck off before I actually come out there with a weapon now. And I'm guessing that the man calculated everything with inside his mindset and clean fucked off. Yeah? Man ain't scared, bro. I'm just not out there looking for trouble. Right? But I will say my verdict on stuff. I mean, I've still got the fucking score marks on my door where he tried hacking at it like a little pussy boy. And I literally came in here and went, huh, that was weird. That was quite peculiar. Oh well, I'm going to continue playing Apex anyway. And continued with the rest of my fucking night. I don't think I'm hard, I don't think I'm big, I don't think I'm clever. I just know that I don't give a fuck. There's a whole difference. How the do I get to this level? Because I do give a fuck about this and it's winding me up now. If I could have a period, it would have came early. Understand? Where the fuck am I getting up there? Yeah, but that way doesn't seem pleasable of an option to get there. I mean, personally, I'd feel like I'd have to climb up there, but I know it's all barricaded out. I don't feel like I climb up there, but it is an obligation. It's starting to look nice. But also, that looks like a spawn zone or something, mate. That looks like a Nazi zombies, like, spawn area. Right, and another thing, Call of Duty sucks ass now, man. Call of Duty is just shit. Right, back in my day when I was growing up, we'd have one game developer called Treyarch, and they would release Nazi zombies, making Nazi zombies more special of a game, more fun of a game. Yeah, we had Modern Warfare that was innovative and tried multiple different things when it came to the side option of the game other than multiplayer and the campaign. Right? I might meant to get up there. Is this my main mission? Where you want me to go? You want me to leave this area? Fuck you. Right? And then we'd have Modern Warfare that would release an awesome futuristic game to play that would be innovative with its different side bits like Nazi zombies. You know, we had an area where we could play the campaign with each other that we had in World at War anyway, you know. World at War, we could play the campaign with each other, we could play Nazi zombies, we could play multiplayer. Yeah? Fantastic game. Never getting bored of it because of that. And I loved the PPSH. I can't actively get to that area.
You don't want none of this.
I do actually. I want this.
Let's teach him a lesson.
Can it be about reading? I struggle with that. Well, what about actively getting to this area? Right, because it's telling me to go this way first, as if this is the prime objective. But as you can see, there's an arrow points me that way. in that way. But then I have no arrows to follow. That is completely like, seems to be like a little bit barriered. Alright, and then we had Sledgehammer that gave us Extinction. Another fantastic side piece to the game. And now it's Call of Duty multiplayer. Campaign. Shit. Nazi zombies. That's all it is. It's just Nazi zombies, Nazi zombies, Nazi. You've killed Nazi zombies off. Yeah? Ain't nobody enjoying that properly other than people that get paid to play that. Right? That game is shit now. Even I can't retain attention span towards getting aroused. And I was one of these people where my mates wouldn't play Nazi zombies with me, not because I was rubbish or out like that, because they didn't have a week to play one game with me. Is how they put it. Right, my mate JD was the one that actually said that to me. But we call him Jay. But his name's JDZ on YouTube. He doesn't stream on that lot anymore. But, you know, he did try. His commitments was forced elsewhere. So it got subsided. And plus he just enjoyed playing games. So, you know. He wasn't really looking to make a career out of it. Which, to be honest, I really have to go all the way around to get to here. Okay. I probably should have looked at the map a little bit more properly. You can try. I've tried. I seem to have a strong will to live. It's quite annoying. And he was one of the best players that I had within my game set. And the team that I used to play with. And the reason why he was one of the best players is because he was adaptive. He didn't just have to be good at the same game, he was actually good at many games. Which not a lot of people are. Nowadays, most people are good at one game. And one game only. Yeah? And they do nothing else with their time, other than play the same game over and over again for their streamers. And the worst bit about it is they're playing a free game for you lot to donate, send money, and watch a stream 24/7. A free game. They don't have no mindset, they are unable to talk. Apparently they're locked in or some shit like that, but I mean, you're possible to do both. I mean, are you that retarded? You know, how would you survive at work being able to give instructions and continue with your job? There's probably a reason why you just play the same game and don't even communicate in your chat. Now, I'm not going to lie, with me, I really don't give time for my chat to communicate because I don't shut the fuck up. So when a chat's listening 24/7, how is it able to converse? How is it able to communicate and put things in the chat if the person is always communicating and keeping flow on his own terms? Now, unfortunately, I went through too much in my life that led me towards a more of a... I'm a deep thinker now. I can't do small talk. I can't do the brain rot bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I died. R.I.P. in the chat, guys. R.I.P. in the chat. Because that's what it begins to sound like to me, 24/7. Because that's literally all I hear. Oh, we didn't do good there, guys. We didn't get in the 2-box lobby. I mean, R.I.P. in the chat, guys. And that's literally all I hear from you fucking retarded streamers, mate. And yes, it's meant as an offence. Welcome to the millennial generation that use retard as an example for you're fucking stupid. Yeah? See, that probably makes sense. Right? But then all you little snowflakes out there wanted to try and change it. Like, shit me, mate. If you were butter, you'd probably melt less quicker. You know what I mean? Because at least you could slip off and out my fucking life. So, and that's what majority of you are, snowflakes. And the worst bit about it is some of you are cheating, and you will completely hide anything in your chat to when it comes to you being called out for cheating. Now, number one, if you're hiding stuff like that in your chat, you've basically just admitted guilty. Yeah? You've admitted guilty. If people wanted to call me a cheat in chat, I'd leave them to it, because unfortunately, you're putting in the chat. You're communicating with it in the chat. The only time I would really be offended is if, say, someone wanted to pick on Fishman. He's come into my chat to communicate with me and try and, I don't know, whatever he was doing. Now, if someone was to pick on him, you would be straight banned from the chat and you wouldn't come back in. I wouldn't have people picking on my community because I don't know how they're going to take it. I'm not a snowflake. I've done nothing but insult myself all my life. There's a reason probably why I'm still alive and still fighting. Because I actually sit there with the hard questions. Instead of, oh, open the tap, guys. Oh, yeah, team tap. Right? And yeah, it's an offence to all you streamers and all you TikTokers. Mainly TikTokers, to be honest, I'm not gonna lie. Oh, and you fucking... and the worst bit about it is TikTok. You know what TikTok is for me? I'll tell you what TikTok is for me, mate. You know when I was at school, waiting for the clock to go, and I was constantly watching TikTok, 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 Tik. That's what TikTok is to me, mate. Not fucking a streaming platform. Right?
Hope I'm lucky.
And the best thing about it, mate, you'll whinge and complain about someone in someone else's position, but don't realise you're in the same position. You're a bum begging for money and likes. Begging. You are begging, bruv. Right? I don't know how you get to that level of statue with what I observe. Yeah? Right. Oh, if you enjoy it, please leave a like, please subscribe. Like, no. Let's not do that, right? Let's be ourselves within our stream, and then the people that come into the stream that may enjoy the content, and trust me, I change on a multiple different areas. Remember, I have multiple different personalities, right? And I've lived each and every one of them. Well, except one of them, I actually keep that one hidden. Right? But there is another part of my personality that never gets brought through. Right? And nobody other than myself has actually seen this personality. And to be honest, no one ever will. The reason why I can't be arsed with a bunch of idiots asking questions that don't concern your fucking nose. Right? That doesn't concern your fucking nose.
Only buy the best. If the vault is real, you'll be able to afford it.
This one is a brute, and he has a powerful shield you will need to whittle down before you can hurt him. Don't let him touch you.
I might fancy him though, you never know. But don't let him touch me. Alright? But you've pretty much through all that where I've been streaming, all my personalities have been shown. There's only one you haven't seen. Alright? And the thing is I have no reason to show you that. I have no reason to tell you that. I have no reason to interact with that. That's one I prefer to keep to myself. The reason why is because I stream, and I pretty much use this as therapy. I would like to keep some things to myself. So, I do. You know? And that one personality trait, I keep to myself. And the reason why is because I have spent so long running from myself that I developed many different methods and personalities to keep myself alive. And unfortunately this stuck with me. But majority of the times I am two sides of a coin. I am a really nice person expressing my anger in a natural format, or I could be an impulsive person where instead of telling you I'm going to punch you in the face, I am going to punch you in the face. Yeah? And I'm a sort of guy, mate, that can just strike at a wall to disperse anger. Yeah? Because it's how I know that calms down the nervous system.
Go now.
Very quickly. I don't do it because I think I'm hard. The war didn't even hurt me in the first place. But everyone looks at me and my hand bleeding and soon puts their head down in like, fuck, leave this one alone. Right? And the thing is I don't feel that. I'll just go and wash my hand, put some tissue on my hand, stop the bleeding, and continue my day. Right? That's what I will do. And the reason why I punch the wall is because if I punch the wall, it prevents me from hitting the person. Over so many years of my life of lashing out at people, I found other ways to cope with it where I wasn't hurting other people. I just thought it was a better way of dealing with it. Kind of need the same way, don't I? And honestly, really the truth.
Sledge not like you. Sledge kill thing he not like. Yeah!
Ever think about brushing your teeth, bro?
Big sledge.
But he said he had a really strong shield. A lot of damage though, not gonna lie. Not doing any damage to his health, bro. I accidentally pressed the wrong button, mate, and he about to be dead. Come on, game, I need you to let me heal a bit. All I've really got is a sniper, to be honest. I shot, man. It just didn't do it. Back off you. Fucking game sometimes, man. This is why I prefer R1 and L1. They're more responsive.
Bounty hunter.
Keep getting better.
You say this.
I don't know how this works.
Death comes for you.
They're not very good, man, I can tell you that. That was a headshot, man. Where's your weak spot, Nicker? It just seems to be his chest. I don't think I'm good at quick scoping, it's aim. Oh wow, it's really good quick scoping. Now look, as long as red's on the cross arrow, it just snaps to him. I don't even have to move. The only time I really have to move is when it comes to a hard scope situation, really.
Stupid bounty hunter. Kill Sledge.
I pick it up.
I bet you would like to know what that is. The vault is real. What you are holding is the key that opens it. One part of it, anyway.
Never convenient, is it? Always one part. I think I am looking for a fucking Element 115 song. You know what I mean? I can see them everywhere, they're all around.
This is Commandant Steele of the
I went
Atlas
to
Corporation
Rise there.
Crimson Lance D Company
Rise
3rd
is
Starborn
something.
Brigade. I have just been informed that you have arrived on Pandora in search of the vault, and within minutes have started killing the locals and causing a disturbance. This planet is under the authority of the Atlas Corporation, and any area...
I wasn't killing him. I was helping him sleep. So offensive. Ah, your mum's nipples. And that one too. No, I want to drop my
Alien
fucking...
artifacts found here are Atlas property. Possession of such property carries a stiff penalty. I invite you to turn yourself in at once to the nearest Lance outpost and surrender any information or artifacts in your possession. Consider this your one and only warning.
I mean, I have an artifact, and the only information I've got is you look like you have hairy nipples. Right, so all that time of me wasting standing here. You know, next time, and for the future preference, we know that we need to look at the mini-map a lot more better. Because honestly, looking at that map from that stance, I wasn't even aware that there was all that over there, to be honest. But obviously when I noticed that, I realised that we have to loop round to this bit. I assumed that there was some magical way, or, you know, I'd broke this green thing here, flashing. Oh, he shoots both straight away. I have no choice about that. Fuck off that. Meat puppet. Is that like when I fished your missus? She's kind of like a meat puppet then, you know. I got my hand inside it. It's funny watching midgets fall. I'm gonna die. Not particularly, bro. But I will shoot you in the fucking face.
You never should have come. Now you're gonna pay.
How much? Your life? Ah, where he is. I don't care. My mission's done.
Come on, little one. Time to die. Shoot 'em all. This one's for you.
Touche. Are we level up? Look at my brain shut the fuck up now. Thank God for that. See? I have to listen to the shit that comes out my mouth at the same time you guys do. How long have I been fucking streaming for now, man? 2 hours and 30 minutes. Right, we're going to cut the segment here because apparently YouTube lied and I've been streaming for 76 minutes according to that. And I will be back with the next segment soon. Also, I'm going to have to cut that down as well. But there's areas... Nah, I'm just going to leave it. You can have a long one. I love and leave. I love and leave you, and I shall see you soon.